Haha. Here we go. The same thing. Closet Maestro. Good evening. Dre Well Bad. Diego Benjamin. Hello everybody, good evening. Mickey. Yes, so one of my regulars. I see you. So we're waiting for the delectable, for the awesome, for the beautiful, for the awesomely gifted, for our gatekeeper, Mama. Coffee Crown, I see you. Dre Well Bad. Oh, good evening, people. Just keep coming in. We're going to give Mama, I want to give you guys time to come in. Yes. Miana, let me go and check on Mama, because it's 10 o'clock. Hey, good evening. Dr. Praise, Taji Bukola. One of my regulars, good evening. Tunde Paul. Tunde, I see you. Dele Super, I see you. Yeah, we're just waiting for Mama to come on. We're waiting for the delectable, the gifted, the pioneer. What's so happy to be here? Yeah, Diego Benjamin, I'm happy to see you as well. Man, you people, last week was awesome. Last week was explosive. How more? Can you guys imagine? 200 naira. Fussy Hype, my dude, I see you. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. We're waiting for the delectable, the amazing Barbara Silke. She's about to come on. Ladies and gentlemen, gatekeeper, pioneer, icon, Mama to Bad. I bring you all the way from Nigeria, from Africa. I bring you the one and only that can never be Meiji. I bring you Mama Barbara Silke. Let's welcome her. She's coming in. Yes. Nigeria Network. Don't even try me tonight. Don't even try me tonight. Waving at you people. Good evening. Yes, so the veteran. Yes, Teju. That's what this series is about. I started it by God's grace last week. I kicked off with Bumisoya, and then Barbara Silke came on, last week. It was part 1 last Thursday, but man, it was way too explosive. And then to be honest with you guys, we also had a bit of an issue with Nigerian Network, so we pushed the part 2 to today, which is also Thursday. So I can't wait. Dabs, Sia, good evening. I see you here. Architecture, one of my regulars. I see you. Good evening. Johan, I see you. Good evening. Guys, thank you for coming on. Let me go and call Mama. Let me see what's going on, Nigeria now. And that was one of the reasons why I even pushed it to a later time. That's why I decided to do it from 10 p.m. so that we wouldn't really have crazy issues with network. Oracle, Local Man, I see you. Good evening. The Clothing, I see you. Afropolitan, I see you. Oh, hi, baby girl. Oh, thank you. Wow, fantastic. Yes, Teju, thank you so much. Teju, the idea is this. We don't celebrate one another enough. Most especially, we don't celebrate our icons, our pioneers. We don't celebrate the gatekeepers, the Joke Jacobs, the Tawa Ajayi License, the Karen Chukuras, the RMDs. They were there way before this term called Nollywood. You guys remember Barbara Silke now, Mirror in the Sun, Inside Out, Love Story. She came back again, and now she's making an incursion back again. Theophilus, good evening, the lights on. You guys give me a few minutes. Let me check out. Let me see what's going on. people. Yes. Going live once again. Thank you for your patience. Oh, K90, I see you. Good evening. Grace 3558, I see you. I've just let her back in again.
Hi. Hello.
Series. Like I said, something dropped in my heart to celebrate our icons, the pioneers, the ones who have gone before us, the one who have walked the walk and they talk the talk and they're still walking the walk and talking the talk. So it's all good. Vicky Roberts, I see you. Sis, I can see you. You look beautiful.
Yeah.
You look gang. Wala lay you. Favor DB, good evening. So sis, are you ready for me? Should I jump off? Should I kick off? Are you ready for me? Can you hear me? Passport Power, good evening. I see you as
Yeah,
well.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Sis, so
Yeah.
for those who were with us last week, it was explosive. K90 is here, Bumi Sonia is here. It was explosive. The things you were saying, awesome. So what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna like do a recap, like a summary, the stuff you shared with us. And the one thing that really blew my mind was when you took us to that sphere of payments. You were telling us that your very first gig, which was Inside Out, you got paid
Yeah.
200 naira per episode. No, 50 naira
No,
per episode. Man,
Inside
that blew
Out.
my mind.
Inside Out was 50 naira per episode. 50 naira.
50 naira. Wow.
Yes, which was the highest artist fee at the time. It was 50 naira that I earned per episode. Yes.
Wow. And then you went on to Mirror and the Sun. And then,
Yes.
And then the pay Mirror and the Sun, that was like 300 naira, 400 naira. Please take us through that process again. I want you to take us through that process because I want people to understand that this thing was step by step. That was a journey. You didn't just become Barbara Silke overnight. Those are one of the things that I want people to pick up tonight.
Yes. Mirror in the I started with 400 naira in Mirror in the Sun per episode. Yeah. But you see, basically, what I want to say is the passion that I started with, that has kept me, that is still keeping me. That is basically what I want to say. Because if it wasn't for the passion, says I would have given up. But for using each time, I am like, if I have come this far with all these sacrifices, with all my efforts, I mean, I should continue. But there were days that I felt like, God, what am I doing? What am I doing here? But something keeps telling me to move on. Because you see, when you sow seeds, the thing about seed sowing is that you keep faith with it because it will surely germinate. It will.
Come on.
No matter how long it takes, I see myself as a tree by the riverside. Yeah? A tree by the riverside is meant for fruitfulness. Yeah. It's evergreen. Despite the the ups and downs and all that, I'm that strong in faith. Yeah. even though I cry when I cry, I laugh when I laugh. But we have sowed seeds. And I guess that is why we're having this program today. You aptly said gatekeepers. Yeah? It's so apt. We started it all. And I'm happy, for what I see right now, the young ones that have sprung up from these things that we have done. Yeah. But the thing is, why would you forget people that started it? Assuming you did not come up with this initiative, let's assume you didn't. Some people just feel that, oh, okay, there are some names they don't even remember. No, that's not nice. That's not nice. You don't just get people like that. God does not forget his own. Yeah? God doesn't forget his own. We've sown seeds. We've sown seeds. The least anyone can do is to at least appreciate. Yeah? Are you waiting for someone to die before you start celebrating them? That's not nice. That's not nice. I know they sacrificed it back in the day. Well, no money. No money. Even when you had worked for 3 months, 4 months, they tell you the sponsors haven't paid. But we kept working. We kept working. You remember I told you last episode how on the way to Badagry, where our camp was, how our car almost somersaulted.
Wow.
Because the tire. Then, after fixing the tire, to God be the glory, we got to camp. Just in another 2-3 hours, we were up again because we were supposed to go on set. We were up. Yeah? And, no, man. Every other set, the story is the same. There's loyalty, faithfulness, keeping to the rules, call time, working late at night, overnight. We just kept working. So today, somebody goes on set, 1 hour, they tell you they are going back. They're going back. Even to come on set, it takes them like God knows for how long. That's indiscipline.
Sis, I can even see some comments. People are saying passion. Some people are saying thank you. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you continue to do. Thank you for inspiring a whole generation. It must have taken a whole lot. Now, there's some questions that I want to ask you tonight. What do you have to do? What do you have to do to channel your emotions into your roles to make it believable?
There's something about my ways, once I get it straight. You see, it's a story. The character has been created, I put life into the character you created. Once upon a time, I had the role of a 75-year-old woman.
Wow.
Yeah. They gave me the script, and then with makeup. In fact, when I saw myself, I couldn't even recognize myself because they took away 2 teeth from my mouth. I was looking wrinkled and all that. So you give me a script, I read it. I just switch. I put myself into the character. I would read it once or twice. In my mind, I see myself. If you say Mrs. Wellington Cole, once I read the script, I become Mrs. Wellington Cole. If you say Mama Sikira, once I read the script, I become Mama Sikira. That's how it is for me. I switch. Because for me, it is the passion is awesome, So that's what I do. That's what I do.
Sis, I wanted to ask you something. At a point in time, you actually recorded an album. So this is what I wanted to
Yes.
ask you. How were you able to juggle between the music? Was it a case of like you had to take time off, or were the songs already ready and you just went into the studio, you just had to show up in the studio to record? Do you understand?
Yeah. I love music, and I got some guys together and wrote some songs for me. So we went into the studio and we did going places. But you see, we live in a society.
Oh, I apologize. Mhm. This is one of the reasons why I even decided to kick off late, like from 10 p.m., because of challenges of the Nigerian network. And I think this show is a real show.
It wasn't something I could handle. It was overwhelming. Remember, I was very young. I
Hmm.
I'm still struggling to handle that fame and then music again. So wisdom took the better part of me. Yeah. I thought about it and I felt okay. If that's it, because it was cumbersome. Going to the studios, doing recordings,
Okay.
going for publicity, blah blah
Not
blah
so
blah blah
good.
blah blah. The experience was good. It was good. At least I had that experience. I said last Thursday, my story is mistakes versus gains. That's my story. That's my story. So yes, the music thing, yeah, at least it gave me the opportunity of seeing the other side. Yeah.
Hmm. Sis, because your
Yeah.
the network is like really fluctuating a bit, so we are struggling a bit to hear what you're saying, but I have to keep going. I'm not even going to let the network discourage me this evening, and I just want to say thank you so much, especially to those who were with us last week and they're here again tonight. Tony Yusuf, I acknowledge your presence. K90, everybody's here. Someone just asked a question. Were you emotionally involved with your role with Tosan? Who is Tosan?
Tosa. My boyfriend in
Yeah.
Miranda Sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the person is asking.
Ironically, ironically, Tosan's name just popped up last week, and somebody was saying,
Ah,
ma'am,
oh.
what about that your boyfriend Tosan? I said, I don't even know where he is. That's acting. That's acting. But then again, I hear he's now a very big pastor in the UK. He's doing well as a pastor.
Ah, wow, wow.
Even at that time, a lot of people were gossiping. They were trying to put two together and they couldn't get four. They thought we were dating. No, we didn't date. We were just acting. We were just acting. Don't mind actors.
It's normal.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it doing well.
And then, for people to ask that kind of question, it's like you really made that role believable. That's what it is, you know. Um, network. Uh, oh, he was a pastor. He was, or he is. Nigerian network. I'm not even having it tonight. Ah, this was our battle last week, you guys. It wasn't even like. but I'm determined to keep going. I'm determined to keep going. Oh, she's gone off. My pastor's wife, Becky. Oh, my pastor's wife, Becky Unoruma Nimusa was a mirror in the sun to us, Tinu. Oh, I heard she actually lives here. This person called Tinu. Hmm. So before she comes back on, Tolu, is Tolu there? Tolu Yusuf. I want to bring Tolu on for a few seconds. Oh, I think she's gone. So you guys, we're just gonna have to wait a bit because this was part of the challenge that I had last week, but we kept on going because last week was just explosive. You know, she was talking about her payments. I was just absolutely blown away. Inside Out, 50 naira an episode. Then she went on to Mirror in the Sun, 200 naira, 350. Then it went up straight to 1,000 naira. And she said something last week that also blew my mind. She said she rented a 3-bedroom apartment for 300 naira. Can you imagine? That tells me there was a time that Nigeria was really, really good. And that tells me that Nigeria can still be good again. Nigeria can get better. 300 naira for a 3-bedroom apartment. Do you guys know how much you have to pay today to rent a 3-bedroom apartment? Ruth Tolubanjo, good evening. I see you. Okay, she's requesting to come back in. I'm bringing her back in again. Waiting for her. You guys, if you have questions, please feel free. Feel free to ask questions. You don't think it's still the pastor? Okay, still on the pastor circuit. Interesting. Sis, are you okay? Should I carry on? Can you hear me clearly? Yes, Afropolitan. Nigeria at some point in time was good and can be better. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sis, I'm still curious. You said something the last time. You said you had an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment, and you said the rent was 300 naira.
Yes.
That blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Executive apartment, 3 large executive 3-bedroom apartment, 300 naira. Yes. In Surulere. Yes.
300 naira. My goodness.
And I had my cell phone. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And we were going to the market with 100 naira. Tejo market. 100 naira.
Wow.
And we will cook soup. My family, my mom, my siblings, and my house help. Yeah. And we were doing shopping. By the time you go to the market to do bulk shopping, maybe 300 to 500 naira. That will last us for a month.
Wow. A month. Sis, there are some questions that I asked you last week.
That's where we're coming from.
Some questions.
And then today, sometimes when I'm like, because I'm human, when talk pops up and I'm kind of reminiscing and I talk about these things, and all people like me will just be gisting what happened, Yeah.
Sis, there are a few questions that I asked you last week, and people were saying that because of the network.
So when we start reminiscing, and then I'm being reminded, that the 100 naira of those days is like, yeah.
Okay. I think there's a delay. Sis, there were some questions that I asked you last time. Sis, there were some questions that I asked you the last time, but when you responded to me, because of the issues that we had with network, people couldn't really hear your answers. So I'm going to refresh some of those questions. I've never met you before, and I'm seeing you for the first time. And I asked you a question, and I say, who is Barbara Silke? What would you say to me? Who is Barbara Silke?
What?
Who is Barbara Silke? Yeah, hello.
Who
Yeah,
is
who is
Barbara
Barbara Silke?
Silke?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. In a nutshell, I want to say Barbara Silke is a child of grace. In a nutshell, a child of
Mm.
grace. I would go further by saying a tree by the riverside. You know, I'm deep rooted. I'm deep rooted. You know, and I remember I said to you last week, and I'm going to repeat it again. Whatever will grow will die
Mm.
first. Anything that will grow will
You die
die
first.
first.
Come on
I'm
now.
deep rooted.
Come on now. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah?
Sis.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Don't sweep me under the carpet. No, no. I reject it because I'm meant to
Hmm.
shine.
Hmm.
I'm meant
Come
to
on.
shine. Light is meant to shine. So it
Hmm.
shines. Yeah.
Sis, have you ever,
I take my job seriously.
ever rejected a script and why?
Yes. Yes. Thank God you brought up this question. Some scripts don't make meaning. So, see, from where I'm coming from, I will not do anyhow scripts. I will not. Yes, I've done that. And then, you see, because this passion thing is not a joke,
Hmm.
it's serious for me. I told you, I will read the script. And if the script is porous, I will not do it. I will not do it. It's not all about makeup, blinks. It's not, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. I ask myself a lot. I ask myself a lot of questions. What are you portraying? What is the
Hmm.
message? What is the
Hmm.
message? You don't just bring some script to me thinking you're doing me a favor. No, I will not. Those are the reasons. If it's not deep enough, if it's not making sense, do you know how powerful TV
Hmm.
is? Do you
Hmm.
know how powerful people every day are looking up to what your message is all about, to what you're dishing to them? It is so powerful. So if I'm going to put my name on it, the script has to make sense. It has to make sense. If you ask me to act a role, I've done some roles, like there are some other people who reject it because it's not about glamour. There was this one I did some time ago. Yeah, they had taken the script round, and the so-called celebrities rejected it because there was no glamour in it.
Hmm.
They brought it to me. I went through the script. I did it because it made sense to me. Because it made sense to me. An old woman that was pushed into a grave. But the story made sense to me. On the other hand, you can bring a script, me looking like a oh goddess, it's makeup, and I would say no. And then when you are real about these things, when you're practical about these things, then they begin to say all sorts of things. What does she think she is? She's so full of herself. She's so arrogant. Just because you're real. Just because you are real. So that's it. That's the
Hmm.
challenge some of us are
Hmm.
having. That's the challenge. What people do you want to
Hmm.
tell? God, ah, you expect me to do anyhow scripts? Look at my history from where I'm coming
Hmm.
from. We need to begin to, but we're talking about
Hmm.
skills.
Hmm.
We're talking about skills.
Hmm.
Talking about skills. We're talking about good stories. See what society has become. Let us let see our youths. Look at the young generation. They're going astray on a daily basis. We can use movie, we can use film, we can use drama to guide these
Hmm.
youths. We can use it to bring them to order. We can use it because that's the power we have as artists, as creative people. Eh? Mothers no longer see their children. Fathers know the children. Look at society today. Why can't we use what we have? to make good of what is happening. Then you go and bring me for me to look like a queen glamour, and script is not making sense. Yes, I'm serious like that. I'm serious.
Sis, before I go into my next question, a friend of mine, K90 Channel, just sent a question.
Yes.
And he's asking, if you have to change anything in your career and the movie industry, what would it be?
If I had to change in the industry,
if you have to change anything in your career or the movie industry, what would it be?
See, it's an individual thing, Is that everybody is if people have you when you're talking about the industry, no, but personally, my career, like I've said, I'm back to work. I'm back to work. I'll keep working as long as God keeps me alive, strong and healthy. I'll keep working. So in my career, I intend to go further. I intend to do better. I intend to do more for as long as I get the opportunities to do what I need to do. But when you talk about the industry, who do you want to train who? In these times, they're making money. For them, it's all about the money. Yeah, I come from way back. That doesn't mean I don't want the money. I want the money, but there's more to it. Maybe that's why I'm foolish, or I'm stupid, or I'm the odd one here. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm coming through with your question. Like I said, concerning my career, we have plans, We want to do better. We want to do more. Like I said earlier on, we have good stories, and, we're hoping to use these stories, for the sake of the younger generation. God has brought me to now. So what else would I do but to see the younger ones come up well? Yeah. Concerning the industry, there's some good ones. There's some good ones. But I had said earlier on, some time ago, some people just see the industry as ATM machine. Come in, take on, no content, nothing, and then it can be frustrating, Shola, it can be frustrating when you find yourself on a set with unserious people, unscrupulous people doing anyhow. It can be frustrating when you find yourself on set with unprofessional people. They don't see it that way because it's their time. So they feel they can do anyhow because they get away with it. Because who you are is who you are. Who you are is who you are. There are challenges, but the sweetest thing, is when you meet with professionals. It makes work easier.
Sis, because you're so passionate, passionate about the state of the industry, the quality of the roles, the quality of the scripts, would you at any time go behind the scenes to produce a movie or to direct or script a story? Would you do that?
Would I
would you work behind the scenes in the capacity of, say, a producer, a director, or a writer?
Yeah. You see, like I said, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. If you have a good director, let me tell you, if you have a good director can bring out the best from the worst artist. Because it's director is the head. The producers have gathered people. Yeah, if a director knows his or her onions, even if the actor or the actress is not as good, the best can come out. But if a director is porous and unprofessional and does not have what it takes, it's frustrating for the good actors and the good actresses. That's the way it goes. So if you come face to face, one-on-one, I say with professionals, with a positive template, with seriousness, it makes work easier. And then you can say, okay, let's do this, let's do this. It becomes like collective effort.
But what I'm saying is,
sometimes.
But what I'm saying is, would you yourself, would you ever consider working in the capacity of a director?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Why not? Haven't I had enough experience? How many years are we talking about? How many years are we talking about? Maybe not technically, because there are technical aspects of it, camera angle here, camera angle there, and all that. But yes, why not? Why not? I could. Why not? I've worked with some of the best directors in Nigeria. Few, but yes, good ones. Very good ones. Very good ones. I have enough experience to direct.
Awesome.
Why not?
Awesome. I wanted to
So that's just...
as somebody who was kind of like treaded the same path as you in a sense, I wanted to ask you, have you ever dealt with gender politics?
Yes. In the industry? Yes. Every day. Every day. But then again, it's a global thing. I hear even the Americans, they complain. I've watched documentaries where the female celebrities, they complain. Yes, on a daily basis. They just won't accept it. You're a woman, you're doing well. It's annoying to them. They get frightened. They don't like it. They don't like it. That started as far back. It started as far back. Who is this one? Who does she think she is? Common woman. They will go as far as saying common woman. Can you imagine the arrogance, the impetus? Yes, on a daily basis. And most times they are not even as good as you are. Most times they are not even as good as you are. See, a real man will always be a real man. To be humble, accept his female colleague. Yeah, you show respect. If the woman is doing well, you show her respect. Unless she's not doing well. Unless she's not doing well. That one is a daily basis. Up until it started yesterday, up until now. Up until now. So I overlook it. See, I don't have liver for drama. I overlook it.
And just keep going. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much for being such an inspiration. I grew up watching you, listening to you. It's just amazing. I can't even believe that I'm speaking to you tonight. So I wanted to ask you something. You look good. I know that you take very, very good care of yourself. You're fit, you're firm. What do you do to stay fit? What do you do? Yes.
To stay fit? Nothing vigorous. I'm getting old now. Nothing vigorous. When I was much younger, yes, I could. But now I just take walks, and that works like magic. It works like magic. Some time ago, I traveled out. When I came back, I was like, all them hamburger, chicken and chips and all that. So when I came back, I was looking so fat. And I said, oh my God, I'm not even that tall. And then I've added so much weight. And somebody just told me, a friend of mine at the time, Barbara, just take long walks, 30 minutes on a daily basis.
Yes.
It works like magic. Just to keep fit.
Mm.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I take walks. I take walks once in a while. This I'm scared of press ups and sit ups. The day I was dancing to Ijoya, I still remember. I was dancing to Ijoya. But I was just looking at me. Ah, look, don't look at the person you are dancing. Don't go and break your waist too. This one I see on TV. You are dancing in Joya. That time has passed.
It's good. Sis, my friend K90, he's very curious, and I understand, but sometimes I don't like to go there, but because it's like a request. He was saying, can they ask you questions, personal questions, your personal life, your family? Sometimes I don't like to veer into that realm. Sometimes I feel it's a bit intrusive, but I know at the end of the day, we're public figures, so people are very curious. They want to know stuff about us as well. So K90, I don't know what you want to ask, but with balance, let's not get too intrusive. So I don't know what you want to ask. Even Auntie Barbara has a smile on her face, like. But before he goes there, I also want to ask you, how do you unwind? How do you unwind?
Unwind. um, I read books, particularly now that I'm getting closer and closer by the day to my God. I read the Bible a lot now, a lot more than those days, And then basically, there's this thing. My psyche is very important. My psyche is very important. So I would not want to dwell in unpleasant memories. It's there. Nobody should tell me about forgive and forget. I forgive easily, because the air is human, and to forgive is divine. But forget is a challenge to me. So I try as much as I can to protect my head, because the battle starts from the head. That's where the battle is. So for me, with my age and experience, it's to protect my head, my psyche. So I try as much as I can to.
K90.
It's awesome. It's so awesome. Also, when I keep saying love is power, and then you see the power of love. Oh, awesome. So what I do when you say unwind, yes, I there are my head, my psyche. I look at the beautiful side of life. I look at the pleasant side of life. I'm looking at, because what I see is what I see. Even in the pain, what I see is joy. Even in the battle, what I see is victory. So that's the way I position my mind. So I could just be strolling and I see flowers around me, and so I just try to create beauty around me. I
You're blushing.
Am I making sense? I try to let go. I can't keep dwelling. I try to move. We moved.
Yes.
Not important.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, K90. Yeah, I like this one. Yes, sis. K90 is asking. He just asked a question. He's saying, when was the most challenging time of your career, and how did you overcome? How did you overcome that phase?
Most challenging. Every set that I've been on comes with its challenges. Every set. Like I was saying earlier on, right from when I started, sometimes you meet on set, everybody is eager to work, but not everybody is serious. It's a challenge. Yes, it's a challenge. When you're paired, you're supposed to act with someone, and before you know it, they haven't read their lines, So they take one, take two, take three. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. But you see, what I try to do is I have this mental my psyche. I first of all work on myself. So when I come on set and I'm working with people that are not serious, I try to maintain, because if I lose it, I lose it. So I will not lose mine. It's up to the director. Let me tell you, there was this day, I think it was Mirror in the Sun. They brought one guy from Lagos. Apparently, when they told him that he was coming to act one of my boyfriends, the role I was acting, Yinka Fawole, was this flexi girl and all that, men and boyfriends and all that. So he was saying, yes, sure. Yeah. So he came, fine. Lola Fanikaide introduced us, fine. And before you know it, even the first line, he couldn't take. We were going from one take to the other till 25 takes.
What?
We have finished. They go to the studio. Something went wrong. There was this day in Ikeja. This was Ripples in Ikeja. We had been in Ikeja shooting. They brought me home around 11:30 or thereabouts. I was so tired. I was on my bed like this, and I was dozing. Just
here we go again. Nigerian network. Nigerian network. Oh,
she's back.
Okay, she's still there. Yeah. So, like I was saying, and that tape was supposed to go to NTA the next day. These are the sacrifices that I've made because of it's not as much as the plea, but because I was part of it. I work with all of me. As much as I was tired, but after the explanation, I had to be tiptoeing because I didn't want my mother to know that I was going back, because she wouldn't let me. At that time, so I was with my house girl, just to make sure she doesn't wake up. I went back to go and correct whatever they said they wanted to correct and all that. So all these are things that if you were not strong enough or if you were not professional enough, you would just, they say if you can't join them, you beat them. Or if you can't beat them, you join them. And I'm saying join them to do what? So I maintain. So when you say in my career, So the challenge is still there. But for every challenge, we will overcome. For every challenge, we will overcome.
Sis, big sis, you have a huge...
So sometimes we are hungry. Food has no come.
Sis, you have a huge, huge fan in K90. In fact, it's just firing questions. He said, I think you narrated something. I think it was the last time. Something about you shooting at a location in Ikeja. So around 11:30, something about sleeping. I don't know. K90, I don't know what you mean. I don't know if it's when she was speaking now, or if you're referring to something she said last week. But I'm going to come back to that question because I'm not going to veer into another terrain, sis. Sis, there's something that I notice about you. You're not ashamed of your faith. You're very, very vocal, about who you believe in. You're very, very vocal. You talk about Jesus with passion. I really, really love that about you. At any point in time, would you put forth a series that is faith-based? Should we expect faith-based content from you?
Yes. Because the Lord brought me to a place of glory.
Amen. Come on now.
The Lord brought me to now. So I need to celebrate the word of God. I need to celebrate. That is my dream. I'd like to use the word. That is my dream. If only you know the things that have happened to me. I should be celebrating the gift of life, the grace of God, the mercy of God. That the Lord brought me to a place of glory. If you have to run, you run to a place of safety and protection. Yeah. That's just the truth. The long break I took was intentional. Intentional. You can't make progress when you are in wrong circles. Now I keep saying, I write, I write, and I said, glory be God, that He salvaged and lifted me up. He salvaged me from the crowd of sea finish. And that sea, the elements in that sea finish are rats, crabs, worms, vultures, and riffraffs, and repositioned me well and good. I make it bold to say that. I make it bold to say that. Oh, says Shola, I make it bold to say that. So, we talk about content. Stories with content. Yes. Shouldn't I use the word of God?
Absolutely.
Shouldn't I use the word of God?
Because I've always seen film. Film too is a tool. It's a tool to tell stories. It's a tool of evangelism. It's a tool to minister grace.
Exactly.
And draw souls. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, I should even drop this. I'm also evangelizing. I need to. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. We need to talk about the goodness of God.
Yes.
My eyes have seen, my ears have heard the wonders of God's grace. Yeah. Hey. Huh. So that's what I'm saying. This is
K90. Okay, I'm gonna ask this. He asked me to ask you, because these are your fans. It's only normal. He wants to know, do you have children?
Well, I'm not going to answer personal questions. So
I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go there.
Anything to do with my career, my profession, the challenges I've had to face, the ups, the downs, the glory, the everything. But personal questions, I don't think I want to answer that.
Honestly, I truly, truly
Sis.
respect that. I truly, truly respect that. Absolutely. Sis, sis, I want to ask you something. Um, who, who is a good actor?
Who
Who is a good
is
actor? Yeah, who is
a
a
good
good
actor?
actor?
Uh, I thought we were talking about skills.
Hmm.
There's some good actors that you haven't even seen. Natural actors. You know, you go on the streets, you'll see them. you know. But professionally, I think a good one with that is just so natural. It's just so natural. You know, the one, there's so much to acting, you know, face, hand, legs. There's so much to acting. The eyes speak.
Hmm.
You don't even have to open
Hmm.
your mouth with the eyes. They
Hmm.
speak. There's so much to acting. There's so
Hmm.
much, you know. Uh, Look at me. I'm just an old woman. The voice, the modulation. There's so much to it.
Hmm.
You know, not just come on. Ah, ah. No, no. You know, ah,
Um,
there's so much to acting. So much.
uh, sis, K90 was asking, would you ever set up a foundation, especially for the upcoming artists, actors? Would you ever set up a foundation?
I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. Really, is one of my pet dreams. I'd love to do that. You know, and I'm hoping that um, God will make the way for me, like I know He will. In due time, I would love to do that. Yes, I should be able to do
Hmm.
that. I would love
Amen.
to. Yes.
Amen. Absolutely. Sis, how would you compare your transition from daily TV, from daytime TV to going to the movie screen? How would you compare? Like doing, with TV, it's back to back. Mirror in the Sun was back to back, fast paced. So how would you compare
Yes.
that to just
Yes.
doing, the one-off movie? The one-off movie. What was that like for you?
Yeah. You see, with a series like Mirror in the Sun, from Lagos to Badagry, back to Lagos to Badagry, and all that, you know. I think that you would need more time with
Hmm.
series. Yeah, you would need more time with series, and the series because this continuation thing, and there's also serial. There
Hmm.
is series, So yes, so this back-to-back thing is more energizing. It's more energizing because it's every week, every episode, you know. And back in the day, sponsors don't want repeat, repeat episode. Every week is a
Hmm.
fresh episode. So you need to be on the toe for that. Yeah. Now with the movies, it's a one-off. So if they say in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, even though it's ridiculous, but that's the way it is. You know, you have a mindset. in 3 weeks, you're done. All the details and everything in 3 weeks. But series is not like that. It's not like that. What you were watching on every Sunday, 1 hour, took us like 3 weeks or 4 weeks to complete 1 hour.
Wow.
You see, it will even as professional as Lola was. The crew, Tunde Kelani, Fanu, and his crew, these were professionals from day one with actors like us. It will take like 2-3 weeks to do 1 hour of the sun. You know, the list, even if that's how cumbersome it was. And this is a professional set from director to producer to crew, the actors. 1 hour will take that long. So with the movies, these days I'm even hearing that in 3 days they finish a movie. I don't know what kind of miracle that is. Yeah, I don't get it. You stress people. See, if the makeup will be smearing, the heat, and see, in 3 days we have to finish this movie. Sometimes the lines are not coming up. Sometimes they are hungry, but because they've been given a deadline. How do you do that? How? And then you want to get it. I remember when one guy came with, okay, so I told Lola, I want you to do a movie for me in 10 days. Lola said, okay, please take your briefcase. I can't do a movie for 10 days. So what I'm saying invariably is the difference. There's a lot of difference. A lot of difference. If you gave me a movie role and you told me that you want me to finish a movie, say, in a week or two, mindset, I'm prepared for it. But when it's a series, in 30 minutes, when some series are 30 minutes, even that 30 minutes, you're talking about a week or two, because everything has to fall in place. Everything has to fall in place. Everybody has a story, it's like body parts. So everything has to coordinate, and it's weekly. It's weekly. I don't know if I answered that.
Yes, you did. Now I'm gonna veer off into another. I'm gonna veer off someplace else as well. Again, what kind of music? What kind of music do you listen to?
Hey, right now, gospel. I'm getting closer and closer. Gospel, anything of gospel right now is like, wow. Oh, but I love country music. You see, life is a circle. Back in the day, if you ask me, I'll tell you. But I love music in all totality. But right now, gospel is so refreshing to me. Gospel is my wake-up call, and I have a lot of fantastic gospel artists that I listen to. Nathaniel Bassey, C.C. Winers, Chris Tomlin, yes, I got that. Sinach, a lot of them. I have them, from one gospel to the other. It's so refreshing. It's all about in spite of all, the word of God prevails. That's the transformation. That's the transformation. And once in a while, I like country music. But basically, it's gospel.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, sis. I'm always curious as a fellow creator, when you watch the different movies, even though this is what you do as an actor, who are the fellow actors that you look up to, that you also admire? Yes. There must be someone that you admire.
Locally or
Both.
huh?
Locally and internationally. Oh, I didn't see it.
Internationally, I have
Mm.
lots of them,
Mm-hmm.
lots of them. You know, those days I used to, the late Elizabeth Taylor,
Mm. Mm.
the late Elizabeth
Yeah.
Taylor, and Jane Fonda, lots of them. Lots of them. If I start naming, probably give 100 names, but lots of them.
Mm.
Even the younger ones amongst them, J Lo and
Mm.
old school people. Some of them past, yes. Locally,
Mm.
I just am my own mentor.
Your mentor. Yeah, who is your mentor? Who?
I improve on I'm my own mentor. I improve on
Mm.
myself.
Mm.
I improve on
Mm.
myself. Yes. I've worked with some good actors. I've worked with some good
Mm.
actors. Oh yes, I've worked with some good actors. Like that Inside Out I
Mm.
told you
Mm.
about.
Mm.
My boyfriend in that Inside Out is now a bishop.
Mm.
Doya Gama is now a bishop
Mm.
in the States.
Mm.
You know, Uh, I've worked with these are actors that are so good. Nobody talks about them. Some of them have left. Some of them have left the industry. They
Mm.
just couldn't cope with it.
Mm. Okay, sis, there's some people. I'm sorry, the network is fluctuating again. Someone wanted to come on and ask you a question. She's actually my junior sister, so I've just invited her on. So she's gonna ask you a few questions because she's right now she's working on scripts. She's writing. Oh, okay. I think she's changed her mind not to come on again. There's someone I have a friend here as well. Her name is Cynthia. I'm gonna bring her on to ask you. Cynthia, I can't find you. You disappeared. So I'm just gonna go into that face. Okay, she's here. I found her. Yeah, I'm bringing her on, sis. So far, this is just awesome stuff. I'm enjoying it. Um, Coming from last week, now we're here. My passion. This is my passion, people, to celebrate the ones that came before us. We tend not to we don't celebrate them enough. We just talk about it. And for me, talk is cheap, so does anyone want to come on and ask a few questions, but nothing personal, please, nothing intrusive, nothing intrusive. Yeah, but I can't see. Could you tell me what the question is? Sorry, a friend of mine wanted to ask you a question. Her name is Cynthia. She stays here in London, but I couldn't see the question, so I think she's going to type the question again. There was something that Teju Ibukola asked. Nigeria. The Nigerian network is still turning and turning. Aha. Sis, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I have to pause because of the
Yeah,
network. Yeah.
yeah.
Someone who's also listening, his name is Teju Ibukola. I'm not sure if it's male or female. I beg your pardon. Um, is asking a question. What are you presently working on right now? Are you working on anything new, like a production, a movie, or something, right now?
Well, I really don't want to talk about it right now. I don't want to spill the beans. So, but we rest assured, you know, we rest assured. Every day is
Is it new day?
is a blessing unto us, you know. So yeah.
Sis, a lot of things have changed in the world today, especially after the COVID period or during the COVID period. Everything has just changed. You know, the digital space has just exploded. How are you embracing new technology moving forward?
Yeah, I guess you're right. A lot of things have changed. You know, I'm aware. I recognize this fact, you know. So, well, struggling to catch up, you know. But at the same time, we need to watch and pray, you know, because so many things are happening with the technology, you know. The negative side of it, there's the positive side of it, you know. I know how long it took me to come to social media, and I'm told that, madam, this is this is internet age, this is technology. You cannot sit down and be saying no, 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 join. You know, so I recognize that fact, you know, but I think the world has become a global village, you know, so we're part of it. We're part of it. Now everything is online, yeah. Nobody wants to even come to your house to say, I came to say hello. It's online. Everything is online. But really, I'm looking at the positive side of it, you know, looking at the positive side of it. I'm not exactly a science person, yeah. I am 200% artist, creative person. That is my jurisdiction. But I like what is happening with the science. I have science people around me, so what I don't know, they tell me. You know. Am I even making sense?
What I'm really curious about is how are you taking advantage of it in alignment with what you do? Like say for example, someone like me now, I'm taking advantage of it right now. We're having this chat, we're having this interview. Now I just put my music out on, say, TuneCore, iTunes. I put it everywhere. You know, now we're doing content creation on social media via IG Live. Now you can put mini series on YouTube. Say for example, someone like you now, if you do a script, you can do a 5-minute, 10-minute episode, put it on YouTube, stuff like that. That's what I mean. Because I feel like these things are supposed to take advantage of them and to use them and to steward them. At Nigerian Network, come on now. Don't even do this to me. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, sis, it's cool. It's cool. All these are ideas, that we can make use of. Ideas, like you rightly said, it is now, the times now are more of ideas, results, So yes, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Someone's just joined. How you doing?
Good evening, ma'am. I'm all right, and you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So do you have a question? You have a question for Big Sis?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was just like first and foremost, I would say it's been a great privilege talking to you because I've been your fan from day one. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, too, and I've been following from the days when you came out with your very first album. I know Harlem Avenue, then, those were actually the very first set of songs that I know you with. And, I've been your fan ever since,
Yeah.
So it was really a great privilege to talk to you for the first time. even though I've known you for more than like 20 years now, but like, and it's been great privilege, to really talk to you. But my question is, I'm trying to ask, like, I know your music has been like, is it okay if I ask you? Is it okay if I ask?
No, but the thing is, the focus is not on me today. The focus is actually on Auntie Barbara Silke. You see what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just.
It's okay, I understand. I was. So tonight is about her. Do you understand?
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not really privileged to really know her, but I may have to call back and see if I can join your conversation later. All right. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
God bless. So sis, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Sorry, Soky, I'm waiting for your question. I'm waiting for you to type your question in so I can ask. I can't see any question right now, please. Because the thing that's so like different with part 2 is that I want it to be as interactive as possible as well. So it's not just me alone asking the questions. So ask anything you're curious about, but no personal questions, please. No intrusive questions. We have to respect, those boundaries. So while I'm waiting for my friend to ask, because what I did, sis, hey, in fact, I made a huge list of questions. Sorry, she's just asked, she's just showing me. So I'm reading. Where's the question? Can't see it. Not there. Yeah, I can't see the question. Sorry, sis. Oh, okay. She's asking, are you planning to do your own production? Shoot your own movies or even something else, but something that still relates to production of movies and stuff like that. Say maybe a Barbara Silke Productions, something like that.
Yes, by the grace of God. Yes, by the grace of God.
If you're going to do that, sis, what genres would you focus on? Because I was actually going to ask you. We have horror, we have drama, we have all kind of movies. What genre would you really focus on, or would it just be a wide range of content?
A wide range of content, all encompassing, but content. That's the bottom line. Content.
Cool. So because it would be like a hub of writers, producers, directors, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another question to ask you. Would you ever consider to hold master classes for people who are really, really passionate to come into this industry and do what you do?
That too is part of the plan, that too. I've had young people come to me, and like I spend time with them, like 30 minutes, 1 hour, putting them through in their own way, quietly, to guide them and, for free.
No, you will not do it for free.
For the Lord.
No, you will not do it for free. We are not going to do that. No. No, you will not do it.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay.
Good evening, Ma.
Yes, but that's okay.
Good evening, Ma. And to everybody else that's going to come on after this, it's been aching me since. Could we please not address Ma with her first name? She's Auntie, or nobody call her Barbara. Some people have been addressing her as Barbara, and we dare not do that. We've been raised better than this. So it's Auntie Barbara. So good evening, Auntie Barbara.
Good evening. Good evening. Who is this?
It's just a little.
Sis, this is my, in fact, this is my
Yeah.
advisor, go-to think tank. She's always on my case. She's a bundle of ideas. You understand? So, it's amazing.
Angela,
It's
good evening to you, Ma. I wanted to ask you one question or several questions. How do you think that people that, if you're trained in the theater, is it advisable to be trained on the stage? Because a lot of people just go straight to the movies. Is there a difference? What is the skill that somebody has been trained on the stage brings to the movies?
There's a difference. The stage is different from the movies. You know, I think stage actors go through more training because it's stage, it's life, you know, it's life. I've done stage before, you know, after Mirror in the Sun, I did You Can't Take Your Wife to New York by the late Rashid Ghadamosi. And it was going to be showing at the National Theatre for 3 days. But we were rehearsing for like close to 6 months. 6 months. Because it's stage. You know, if you look around you, you will know that stage actors are different. They had to be more audible because it's life. You know, so a lot of people prefer TV or the movies because editing, you know, if you make mistakes, the editor will always chop, chop, chop and add it up. So the difference is clear. The voice that you use.
Sorry, it seems, but with Nigeria, stage is not given the credibility it should be.
Yes,
it's not.
It. That's why. Yes, that's why more people prefer TV or the movies because the stage. Most times you're wondering, are they working? I've heard people say, where are they? Where are they working? They are. It's just because it's not as glamorous as it were. But they are even more hardworking.
I believe so.
They could be practicing. Yes, they are even more hardworking. They could be practicing for one, like I said, we were practicing for 3 days performance in National Theatre. We were going back and forth back in the day, you know, like close to 6 months. So they are even more.
So you see why you see why you have to charge, why you can't do it for free.
Well, you still haven't told me what your name is. Who am I speaking?
Sorry, my name is Angela Onelu. Good evening, ma.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
So because this is a conversation I normally have with Auntie Shola, and it's about valuing your creativity. And you know, you cannot buy class. And we've sitting down here watching you speak with so much class and so much style. And that is something that is not, you can't buy that in the market. But if you're ready to learn, I'm sure you can teach it. So you don't give that away for free. I will be on your back as I am on Auntie Shola's back as well, if I hear it's free. But it's been amazing talking to you. I think you're a lovely lady, and I'm wishing you so much more, so much poise. Yes, thank you very much. Somebody said it. So much poise. That is something that needs to be taught, not just for our artists. I think it's just teaching our young ladies. You know, when we say being a lady, it's something being dumbed down. They say, oh, being a lady means you have to be prim and proper. And no, it's not necessarily that. it's a character from within. It's not about what you're wearing or how you're wearing. It's, you know, it's just your delivery, your response, the way you articulate yourself. It's endearing, and I think we need more of that. And you're an elder, so we should be able to sit at your feet and hear and get some advice. So yes, although you're still a very cute looking elder, but you know, you're still our elder. I'm gonna love and leave you guys.
I'm blushing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie
Bless you.
Bye.
Okay.
How do I get out? I don't know how to get out of this.
Okay, I'll help you.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, and it is Auntie Barbara. Anybody that calls her by
this is awesome. Okay, I saw Papa trying to come on. Aha. Yes. Auntie Barbara. It's true. I agree. Poopa. Spunking.
I have two people to thank tonight. Yeah. I mean, three people. First, I want to thank God for making this possible. You know, all beautiful things are made possible by God. And this is very unique. So I thank God. Second, I want to thank Shola for choosing to, you know, respond to the call to embark on a journey like this. Thank you for yielding to that. If you didn't do it, somebody else would. But I thank you because now you're making it possible for some of us to connect with an icon that otherwise we would just be talking about, and we say, where is she? What's happening? So this is a very, very laudable thing. And the third person I want to thank is Big Sis, Barbara, the everly beautiful, everly attractive, you know, everly outstanding, talented. You know, I could go on, and it's not just to lavish you with unnecessary praise, but because it's the truth. You are the reason a lot of people have a career now. You are the reason
Come on
a lot of people, you're the reason a lot of people, some will own up to it, some will just not, out of ego or because they think they are now bigger than you. But way back in the 80s, you are one of the people, your generation, you know, your cohort, Uncle Larry Williams, Brother Benga Richards. He and I were very close. Benga Richards, you know, Mirror and the Sun was almost like a flagship of a new generation of TV series in Nigeria. And it's probably like a pace setter for other ones like Behind the Clouds and all of that. But, you know, your era made a lot of difference. And we could almost predict, you know, the kind of commercials, not just the program itself, but even the commercials that went in between at that time. Everything was a pack of entertainment. And I haven't seen any difference between the way you carried yourself on stage way back there. You were a very beautiful woman. We most of us in Form 1, Form 2, or way back there, some of us wanted to watch every Sunday because we wanted to see Barbara Silke. Thank you so much for that gift, you know. And thank you because I need to expatiate that you're the reason some people have a career. Watching you at that time, even if it's difficult or impossible to say, will be the reason for some people to say, because of this woman, I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to go into acting. I'm going to study theater arts. I'm going to find my way onto the stage. So it is modest to just discuss like this, but it will be also be very important to thank you. You will never be able to count the sea of heads or the generations you have impacted. Some who will be able to come back to you and give kudos, but many who will have gone forward and would even have forgotten that you were the reason they ventured out. Because it was a period when, you know, things like playing football, acting, music, you know, wasn't something our parents wanted to hear. Yeah. You know, it wasn't like. So you people broke the grounds. You broke the barrier. You carried it. And if you were doing, the thing you did at that time, if you were doing that thing today, the kind of thing you did and the weight of the content will put Nigeria on the world map. Because everything was thorough. Everything about each episode that we watched was a school to learn from, in terms of script writing, in terms of casting, in terms of delivery, in terms of character and characterization, in terms of set. I mean, it was way back then, and if you bring those things back today, they will still compete favorably, against what we have today. So I want to thank you, because your generation is the reason many people have career today. Is the reason many people not only have career, you're the reason many people have distinguished career. Because while they're teaching them, maybe in class or wherever they find themselves, some of them will be thinking of a Barbara Silke as a yardstick, as a benchmark in their minds. Because many of you came and you gave your all. You gave your all. It's not difficult to know. Now, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank God for, bringing you to bless our generation, and for also giving us the grace to be able to meet with you like one-on-one today. Probably wouldn't have happened. I want to thank you so very much for blessing our TV sets way back, whether it was black and white or it was colored, So with all that said, because I could go on and on, I have a question to ask. I don't know if you've answered it already in the course of this broadcast, but I want to ask, what has your experience been in the efforts you may have made towards the reversal of value system in the creative environment as it affects acting? What has your personal experience been? Because I would expect that someone like you will be restless. You'll be like complaining, you'll be like nagging, which is normal when you are a pace setter. It's easy for you to see the flaws in many things. It doesn't mean you're a perfectionist. It simply means that you have a standard. So how has it been with conversations you've had, with places you've been, with talks you've had, with doors you've tried to open? What has your experience been? And what do you propose? If you have been unsuccessful or otherwise, whatever it is, what do you propose as the things we need to do? Whether they listen or not, whether it goes out there or not, just let us have it in documentation tonight, please.
I need you to please repeat the question again, so that I can really understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said, what has your experience been, in your efforts or advocacy for the reversal of the value system? There's been a decline, a steady decline, and it still goes on. So your experience, what has it been like, and what do you propose as ways forward?
My experiences has been both pleasant and unpleasant. Yeah. Because like you rightly said, you actually, from everything that you're saying, you just brought tears to my eyes. You just made my eyes
watery.
It's
the truth, man.
Listening to you, it's like everything is coming back.
Yeah.
Everything is coming back. Do you understand? You couldn't have said it better. Now, I need to thank you. Like I told Shola, God has used her to do what she is doing, and God will continue to bless her.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
I thought you said if she didn't do it, somebody else would. She is doing it to have initiated this program or this series. She has done so much more than she can think of, much more than she's even saying. She has done so much more. So she's the tool that God has used to do this initiative. Yeah. Now back to you. Everything you said, I don't want my tears to drop because I'm on air. So I'm going to hold back my tears. So like I said, the experience in my time, you dare not. You want to act, your parents will kick you out. Because their friend's son is an engineer. Their friend's son is a lawyer. So for you to even pick up the courage to say you were looked at as a clown or a dullard or a failure. That was the time when I took the bull by the horn. Fortunately for me, in a way, my mom, even at the point my siblings said, they thought I was, what do you think you're doing? So I fought a lot of battles.
Wow.
About me. Jola also says the same thing. So tell me, even if, see, I'm going to round up by saying, I don't know what I lost, but I know what I gained.
Right.
Nigerian network.
Shola, let me exit so she can keep going and I can make space for other people while she answers my question.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Big Sis. It's been a very huge pleasure. And I pray that God uplift you, that God renews everything about you, and that we celebrate you for a very long time in the best of health. Thank you so much for blessing us. Thank you.
God bless you. God keep you. Thank you. Thank you.
Upa.
So, Shola, like I was saying, he said it all. So concerning my what has been my experiences, I did say pleasant and unpleasant because my personal life suffered. Yeah, my personal life suffered. It suffered a lot. I my personal life suffered. Nobody cares. They see you on screen. Every Sunday, everybody is out on the streets, in the room, families, everybody. But the person in question, you see, we hurt, nobody knows. We don't have to carry it. So we are smiling through the pain. We're smiling through the hurt. It was overwhelming. My personal life suffered. So I said pleasant and unpleasant. Concerning the value system, it's visible, isn't it? It's visible. Everybody knows what is happening. Everybody knows what is happening. But as an individual, I always say something. I say to the youths, to the young people that I've encountered that need my advice, it's an individual thing. The way you dress your bed, so you lie on it. The way you address yourself, that is the way you'll be addressed. The company you keep determines what accompanies you.
Yes.
If you go with the wrong crowd, you go the wrong way. So concerning values, I would choose my own school because these days, man, I'm awed.
Sister Barbara, how are you, ma? Good evening. This is K90 channel that the gentle lady in Sister Shola has been talking about.
Okay, it's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Good to see you. I'm good.
Yeah,
and
I'm good. You're a great role model. I was probably 3, 4, 5 years old when I was watching your lovely every Sunday episode, Mirror in the Sun in Nigeria. I remember my mom and my dad, everyone, they stay tuned to TV every Sunday evening. They want to watch you. And I was forced to watch you as well. You've been a great role model, no doubt about that. The gentleman that just spoke has said everything. And I'm not going to add to that. I cannot overemphasize the importance of your impact in the world today, the hope you gave to young ones, upcoming artists, that if you can do it, they can do better. And especially with the emergence of the social media, which makes life a lot easier for everyone now. I'm going to deviate a little bit from your personal life, your career. I want your experience around Nigeria as a whole. Currently, I do a lot of video on YouTube talking about, the current affairs in Africa and Nigeria as a whole. I want your perspective. The 80s, when you shoot movies, you go out 11 p.m., 12 midnight. And now in Nigeria, what do you think those changes are? And what do you think Nigeria can do better to be competitive globally?
That's a question, right?
Yes. Yes, sis.
Yeah. Well, like he said, in the 80s, in the 80s, even in the 90s, things were a lot better, a lot better. It wasn't as bad as this. Oftentimes I ask myself, how did we find ourselves here? When did it all start? At what point? I'm proudly old school. So whatever is happening today is like so strange to me. So strange to me. I can't even fathom what is happening. From here to there, you're not safe. You don't know who is. You don't even know who you're talking with. God. In my time, I always tell people, there's always only Nitel telephone, which I had anyway. So if you called, two things. You were either in your office or you are in your home. You cannot tell me that you're calling from Dubai or you're calling from Israel. You can't tell me that. Anyways, that's not even the issue. Concerning Nigeria of those days and Nigeria of today, I'm awed at what is happening right now. The level of violence, the level of rape, everything negative. Everything negative. And like, these children that God has blessed us with, that we have brought into the world, what is their future? Where, how? It's so pathetic. All we have right now is God and His word. So we watch and pray because there's nothing anybody can do. I think everybody is like tired. Everybody is overwhelmed. Everybody, honestly, that is what it is right now in Nigeria.
Oh my God.
People don't have food to eat. As I speak, people are begging to eat. I say that's not bad enough. There are people who look for food inside trash cans. Oh, yes. You may think, real life. I remember some time ago, whose regime, and they were talking about hardship. And one of the commissioners or ministers had the guts to say, what is hardship? Have they started picking food from the dustbin? I remember. Even at that time, there was hardship. But this one, and prostitution dimension. We're talking about children of 10 years, less than 10. And uncle of mine said he overheard a woman telling her 13-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl, you are here asking me for food. Is it not your mates that are feeding their parents? The girl is 13. He said he heard the woman telling that to her daughter, a 13-year-old girl. Is it not your mate that is feeding their parents? It is that bad. The level of frustration, then depression. Depression leading to suicide. Do you know people are killing themselves, committing suicide on a daily basis? They can't continue. They can't continue. They are tired. They can't continue. Look at our youths. It is now all about ritual money. If you know what is happening, and I'm like, God, even to open my door and go out, I have to look right, I have to look left, I have to fast and pray just to go out. Just to go out.
So let's round up and then we go to the next question.
Men have become, yes, you know, so it is that bad. It is that bad. So it is now two ways. That's why you are either here or there. Now I hold on to my God because that's what I have. So the gospel is becoming aggressive as well. The word of God is being impacted on a daily basis, you know, on a daily basis. Yes. So but that's it. This other guy, you know, two people I want to bless and I want to thank God for making you be the initiator, for initiating this laudable and awesome program. I will keep blessing the day you were born. I will keep blessing the day you and I connected. I think that's the good part of social media. I've always been your fan as well. As you tell me, you've always been
good.
fan.
There's an advantage as well. Sis, I wanted to ask you something.
God bless.
Sis, I wanted to ask you something. You know, you recorded music years ago. So I wanted to ask you, those songs, are they still available today? Like, are they anywhere? Can we get them anywhere on the internet? You know, not the whole album or singles. Is there a video available on, you know, online?
Well, it should be because you know Amazon. Yes, you can get it on Amazon.
What's the title of the album? Oh, Going Places. Yes, Going Places. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you something. When you dropped the album, did you do shows? Did you tour? How did you promote the album?
What?
How did you promote the album?
It was launched at Eco Hotel at that time.
Eco Hotel. My goodness.
It was launched. Yes.
Wow.
May I bust your bubble? May I? So, and the chairman of the occasion was the third man in the country at that time, Dr. Bali, the army, the head of the army and all that. And like, oh, you, how were you able to bring the third man in the country to your show? What? I'm like, God, this thing will not put me into trouble. Anyway.
No, recognition is not a bad thing, you know. If we steward it properly, if we steward it with wisdom, it's actually a beautiful thing. As long as we don't let it get, it get to our heads. Do you understand? Because
that's just it. That's just it. You know, back in the day, they were wearing things like managers. We didn't have managers. You are the artist. You are your own manager. You are carrying your album and be going from place to place. Can you imagine? But those days are past. We moved. These days you have a manager, and all you need to do is to concentrate on your job because somebody is managing you. Yeah. And
Thank you so much, Sister Shola. I need to exit now so that other people can join the call.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. You're a God-sent person. Honestly, Sister Shola, I need to give you a bell. Honestly, this is one of a kind. Honestly, this is extremely crucial. We need more of this, please.
Hold on, no. Before you start talking me.
My sister,
buy badges. Buy my badges. Yes, now. What are people saying? It takes time. A laborer is worthy of his wages. I mean, Barbara. Yeah, so who did?
I agree with you. Definitely, we are going there. We are going there. We want more of this, and we will support this dream. We want more of this. This is extraordinary. Honestly, it's a great privilege to bring a great role model, an icon, an emblem of, you would never get a better platform to meet, such a sister, a great role model who paved way for all upcoming artists in Nigeria. All the people we see today, if not for people like you that fought through, that you went through, the darkness, the difficult challenges at that period of time, and you were able to succeed. Where would we be today in the movie industry in Nigeria? And just like Sister Shola herself, the time of Ijoya Allen Avenue, when people will say no ladies in the industry, the time of Kenny Ogugwe and all stuff, where will you be if not for people like Sister Shola? You two, you're just extraordinary human beings. It's a great privilege to be part of your program tonight, and I just want to sign out tonight.
This that you're saying is sweet. It's sweet, but make it sweeter. Make it sweeter. Buy badges. Yes.
I'm getting it right now. I promise I'll buy straight away now.
Multiple badges.
I will, man. I will, man. Okay, man.
We are blessed.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night, man.
God bless you.
Thank you. Let me just exit. I'm still in the room for others to join. Sister Barbara, God bless you. My goodness and mercy shall continue to follow you all the days of your life.
Amen.
Thank you, my God. Thank you, man.
Hey, wow. It's just been, you guys, it's been so sis. This is awesome. Imagine, we were just chatting 2 months ago. Nobody knew that we're going to be doing this today. That's how life pans out. It's amazing. And to have people around, to have my family here, it's awesome. My manager, she's online. Joyce is online. Cynthia is here with me. Pupati is here. Those are my inner circle. Bumisoya is here. It's just awesome. It just dropped in my heart, and I went with it. Procrastination is not a good thing. Just go. My thing was, even if I stumble on the way, the Holy Spirit will bring me back into alignment. He will correct me. He will say, go here, go there. Now people are embracing it. I don't want to announce who's coming on next week, not just yet. I just have people lined up because we don't celebrate our pioneers. We don't. It's all talk. It's cheap. You understand? So we need to start putting our money or whatever where our mouths are, and just look back and recognize these people. Because I can never forget Mirror in the Sun growing up. Mirror in the Sun, Village Headmaster, Cockerel at Dawn, Orkin Biscuits, Samco, Bata, the Sandals. Okay, someone wants to come on. The mayor of Louisville. Hey, the mayor of Louisville. All these titles that people are giving. come and buy badges, all these titles, all this mayor. The mayor of Louisville is coming on. Man, but see, so far it's been an awesome experience. Right from last week, now we're doing the sequel. This is what I call the sequel. We're gonna use we're using movie terms now. Since I'm curious about something, there's this culture in Hollywood, and I was wondering, does the same obtain in Nigeria as well? Because you were even pre-Nollywood. Was there such a thing as a casting couch? Did we have that? Oh, we had it.
Yep.
Wow.
It's everywhere.
Wow.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But now it's worse. It's worse. But you see, the thing about couching cast is if you start like that, you get to a point where you hang. You can't go further.
Wow.
Unknown to them. If you use that medium because you wanted to, yes, then you get to a point, you hang. Because it's like, who is next? Yeah? Who is next? So that has always been. But like I say, it's all about you. The way you want your life to go. Okay, so when I said mistakes made, lessons learned, experiences gained. So the catching cast thing is as old as creation. It's as old as creation. But I would not advise anyone to start like because okay, what else is new? Who is next? Hello, goodbye. But if you talk, they say, duh. So it's your life.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
It's just been so absolutely amazing. I thank God for your life. You're healthy. You're here. You're able to tell this story. This is I know Papa T, my friend, is going to have tons of ideas of how to document this, keep this. Someone's been saying, "Oh, you need to morph. It needs to morph into a YouTube series." People have just been giving me all kinds of feedback. They love this, and it's just amazing. I'm just getting started. You're my second, person, and I'm thinking. So what does a future hold for Barbara Silke, for Auntie Barbara? What moving forward? What are you thinking of doing immediately?
What does the future hold?
In terms of work, in terms of new movies, new roles, or further diversifying what you do.
Yeah.
Nigeria Network, even at this time of the night.
I'm back. Break.
It's gonna have to answer me again. The network.
Said the story changed. So like I said, the story changed. The Lord has brought me to glory.
Amen.
He has brought me to now. So I see the light. Work starts by the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. I see the light. That's all I see, the light. God is still going to use me to do great works because his works are of greatness in my life.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been.
That's what I see.
This has been amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for opening the doors. Because even someone like me, watching you on TV, growing up, I was inspired. I was like, yes, I want to do that. I want to do movies. I want to do music. Thank you for being that trailblazer, the trendsetter, the pathfinder. Thank you. In the midst of the forest, the bush, you cleared the way. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you for being such an inspiration to us all. We salute you. I salute you. Thank you. God bless you. And I see a brighter future, honestly. All these new directors, the producers, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you.
Thank you, sister.
And they're gonna do stuff with you. Yes. Because I'm somebody, I don't believe in age. I always tell people age is a number. I only believe in times and seasons. The time comes again, the season comes again. I sincerely still believe that you would do a lot more. Come on, if Cicely Tyson could do tons and tons of movies with Tyler Perry before she passed on, Denzel is still very active. Tons of people are active. Seriously. So thank you so much for blessing us. Thank you for blessing this program. Thank you for coming on the Gatekeeper series. Thank you to everyone who was tuned in, watched, asked questions, contributed. I'm so grateful. I look forward to doing more and more of different people. I'm not going to name names. Okay, I think someone wants to come on. Okay, Frankie. So this will be the last person, and we'll call it a night. Wow, we'll call it a morning. It's even past 12. I'm just seeing my time now. Wow, it's 12:04. Wow. Awesome. Almost 2 hours.
Sorry, the touch.
Hello, good evening. We can't see you.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Actually, good morning.
Mr. Frankie.
It's actually good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, how you
All
doing?
the way from Ibadan, Nigeria.
Ibadan.
Yes. Yeah, you have been an inspiration. Thank you so much.
God bless you. So go on.
Yes, actually, I never knew you on Instagram. I just saw you. So I saw your live video on what is Sarah was not barren. So I could understand. Yeah, it's really inspiring. So I'm an entertainer also. Yeah, I have inspiration for that. But you've inspired me to yes, I can do this for Christ. I remember when I was in secondary school, a woman personally told me, because I sang a song, I went to a boarding school. So I sang a song which is worldly, so to speak. Then she called me and told me that if you can use this energy you're using to sing, if you sing for Christ, you'll win souls. So since then, even though I kept that prophecy in one side, but listening to your talk and the way you inspire, I'm a brand new being, new, stuff like that. So when I listened, you inspired me. I was like, yes, I think I'm going to follow that calling.
You have to. Oh.
Yes. So she's gone.
Can I say something? First things first.
Yes.
This program tonight, it's called the Gatekeeper series. And my guest is Auntie Barbara Silke. So when you requested to come on, I honestly felt that you wanted to ask her questions or just drop comments. So tonight is not about me at all. I'm just hosting a program, something that I started 2 weeks ago here on Instagram. So, but something's happened. I think she's having connection issues, some network issues. So, do you want to ask her questions? So if she comes back on, she would answer. Or if you want to talk to me, it wouldn't be tonight because today is about her, not about me at all. I'm just hosting.
Anyway, of the truth, yes, I not really I want to ask a question because
to be frank with you, I don't really know what you're discussing. I just tuned in because I just, like I said, I just started following you tonight. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, why didn't she's even on Instagram? So I was like, let me follow up. So I checked and I saw your live. So I had to just request to join so at least I could speak to you and see you. You've been an inspiration.
Thank you so much. God bless you. But I'm
Thank
open.
you
I'm
very
open.
much.
Maybe from tomorrow. Sometimes I do some like chat one-on-one chats during the day on my IG live as well. So if I'm live tomorrow, you would see me, so you can come on and we can chat. No problem at all.
Okay. So one request before I go, just always Franklin. Yes, my entertainment name is Mr. Frankie. So just keep me in prayers and pray for me to be inspired, like the anointing of God to flow in me so that I could sing for him.
Amen. Amen. I will. You can even
Yes,
send me
thanks
a
for
DM. You can send me a direct message. You could even send me a direct message, please.
Okay, no problems. Thank you. So here I'll say good night, good morning.
All right. Good morning, good night.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Amen, and you too. Yeah.
All right. Network. She just said it a few minutes ago. Network. I'm going to try one more time. Let me see if I can bring her back on, you guys, please. Just a few minutes. Wow. K90. She was about sleeping. She just said a few minutes ago. No. Yes. Yeah, she's going to come back on to say good night. Awesome. Beautiful talk. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I can't believe we've spent 2 hours. It's been absolutely amazing. Oh, Teju, yes, absolutely. It's recorded. Talk turning around. She's trying to get to come back in. Hey, sis. Big sis. You're here. Oh, KB Akonde, I didn't know you were here. Good evening, sis. This is a divine blessing and amazing grace of God. Yes, it is. Amen. Hallelujah, it is. So, Sis Barbara, I just wanted to say thank you. I'll keep saying thank you to you. Thank you for being such a great inspiration to a lot of us. I just want you to know that we love you. There are tons of people out there who love you. We love you, for real. We love you. And thank you. And the Lord is your strength. And trust me, you're just getting started. Those seeds that you've planted, you're gonna harvest. You will not labor in vain. You will not labor in vain in Jesus' name. Yes, you will not labor in vain in Jesus' name. No audio from me. Can you hear me? Because someone is saying no audio. Or maybe from me, I don't know. Oh,
Thank you.
yes. Okay. Yes. And thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm just saying amen to all your good prayers. And I need to let you know that I appreciate you even more. Now I'm saying this with all honesty for taking up this initiative. Shola, God will bless you and keep you to reap the fruits of your labor in good health, in good spirit, in love, in sound mind. Yeah, God will bless you. Already did. God already did. He already did. You know, and I'm just conquering the word of God, saying you already did. Because you have sown seeds as well. And those seeds, would you sow seeds in vain? No. You also have sown seeds. So the prayers you make for me, I know you mean well. I know they are good prayers. So I say amen. That's why I'm also, you know.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who.
And the angels of God heard it. The universe heard it.
2 good hours.
What you have
done.
Thank
you so much. See you guys. Love you guys. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.